Right, time to get the food out of the oven, let's put some clothes on this mannequin, and let's not forget to slit this man's throat and turn him into mincemeat. All in a day's work. Restaurant managing simulators is a genre you can find pretty easily in gaming. Hell, in middle school we would play a ton of them on whatever sketchy flash game website we could find, which probably overloaded our school's computer systems with malware. Although none of those games had you stabbing a customer in the neck and then sending them down to the kitchen where you just butcher them so you can make some delicious meat pies. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can't find a restaurant simulator that lets you do that until today. Ravenous Devils brings its own unique dark twist to the genre in Bad Vice's game's sophomore debut on the video game market. If this sounds a little too familiar, I would like to take you down to Fleet Street, where Johnny Depp once portrayed the infamous demon barber Sweeney Todd. Ravenous Devils wears its inspiration to the musical on its sleeve, and had the odd idea of looking at the cannibal aspects of that story and thinking, hey, what if we made a game out of that? The game places you in the role of Percival and Hildred, who have just made their way into a new city and are looking to start their own respective businesses. Being a married couple, these two make the perfect serial killing dream team, where Percival opens up a tailoring business where he could craft the finest clothes for the town, while also luring them in so he could brutally murder them. From here, he takes the clothes from the dead body for his own business and tosses the rest down to Hildred. She runs a restaurant a floor below Percival's tailoring shop, and a floor below that is the kitchen where bodies pile up, so Hildred has some fresh meat to work with. So morals aside, it's kind of the perfect business plan. By committing murder, you get the supplies you need for your product for free, meaning you significantly cut down your operating costs and work mainly with just profit. This is the type of shit that would make Jeff Bezos proud. Despite the game being a reference to Sweeney Todd, Hildred and Percival actually love each other and work really well together, unlike Todd and Mrs. Lovett. Or Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This game came out at a pretty interesting time, didn't it? Oh, also they're hot enough to cause a bisexual panic attack. That's not important to the review, I just kinda had to get that off my chest. Despite being a management simulator, the game has you take an active role in running the shops for both characters. It takes up a point-and-click style of gameplay where you must gather supplies, create products, and serve them to your customers, but each character has different duties. Percival has the role of being the supplier, where he is the one who commits the murders, but by doing so, he gathers resources for both him and Hildred. When Percival kills someone, he takes the fabric for himself and has a choice to either give the corpse to Hildred or stuff it in the garden for compost. Either way, this helps the restaurant, where you'll find Hildred's role as the moneymaker. The restaurant tends to bring in much more customers than the tailor shop, and because of that, Hildred's gameplay is centered around managing supplies while creating dishes. I should say the game does mention it really goes in on the gore, but I've seen some shit in my day involving a guy in a jar, so I thought I was prepared for this. Thought being the key word here, because once Hildred gets to work, you're definitely gonna wince at what you see. Despite the game not really having AAA graphics, it definitely makes up for it with its style. Seeing a body get grinded into a thick meaty paste as blood flies everywhere and flesh can be heard getting ripped to shreds, with all of it culminating in one meaty plop, really highlights how sound and art direction can really make the difference in a game's gore.
I should clean this from time to time.
There are 3 different meat types in the game, and all of them have their own unique animations when it comes to preparing them. Sadly, each of these meats only get a single unique animation given to them, but the game definitely goes for quality over quantity because each of those animations have a very careful attention to detail that somehow make them more satisfying to watch each time despite being pretty disturbing. Again, I'm no stranger to gore, but when you hear the blade slice through the flesh and the meat make a wet plop as it lands in the metal bin, I couldn't help but be surprised at how violent this felt. What was also surprising was how active the game required you to be. Hildred has an assortment of recipes she could cook, but to make them, you need to place different ingredients on a plate and stuff that into an oven. From there, you could send it up to the restaurant for customers to buy, although to get any of those ingredients, you need Percival to send you bodies, or send you vegetables from the garden above his tailor shop. But you have to remember that Percival has his own shop to run. This game will have you flip-flopping through multiple floors managing so many tasks at once, you'll need to give the game your complete attention to run the stores properly. It sounds like a very tight rope to navigate, but in reality, the game does give you some leeway. At the start of a new day, you can prep as much as you want before opening, allowing you to get the, supplies and restock any ingredients you need. I actually really like this because it gives the game a very calm before the storm moment, because once those doors open, trust me, you are going to work. All of that work does pay off because all the money you can earn can be used to upgrade the store and make your life a whole lot easier. Here you can unlock upgraded equipment that will make prepping the ingredients so much easier. This includes extra ovens that have more meals at the ready, machines that produce more meat, and extra stands so you can stock more food for your customers to buy. Most of these upgrades provide a visual change in their respective stores, and it's a great way to show you how much progress you've made since you started playing the game. With the gameplay settled, let's talk about some negatives. The first being bugs, and no, I don't mean in the kitchen. There are rats though. People tend to pay a lot for their meat. While the game runs smoothly, I noticed some gameplay bugs here and there through my playthrough. One that was somewhat common was certain characters being locked in place, unable to interact with anything around them. The bright side to this is this only happened at the start of a new day during the prepping phase, so I could easily just reload and not be affected. Although one strange bug I had is there was a day after completing the main storyline where not a single customer came into Percival's store to get their measurements done, meaning I couldn't get any meat that day. This only happened once and I'm not sure what caused it, but it was kind of strange. The second negative is going to be more of a compliment, which is the game is too short. Now to their credit, Bad Vices Games does tell you it'll take about 4 hours to complete the story, and for me that was pretty accurate. But the thing is, once those 4 hours were done, I wanted more. Yeah, it's a short game, but you bet your ass during those 4 hours the game had my complete and undivided attention. The game, for me at least, had a knack of taking me back to the Flash game days, where games very similar to this just ate up hours of my time. The gameplay is addicting in the sense that it's very easy to end the workday, buy some upgrades, and think to yourself, I could do one more day. And then you end up saying that to yourself another 8 times. While the game only has 4 hours, I could have easily done another 4 if it had more content. Ravenous Devils is sick, twisted, and absolutely delicious. You can pick it up today on any platform, and hopefully in the future, Bad Vices Games will drop a sequel that expands the scope of the game, because trust me, I'll be the first in line to eat one of Hildred's meat pies. I'm Chris from Genuine Chill. If you liked the video, you should like the video, and a big thank you to Bad Vices Games for the review codes. You can subscribe for more reviews, and in return, I'll serve you a meat pie instead of turning you into one. I'm gonna go sing about how there's a hole in the world like a great black pit and it's filled with people who are filled with shit, but you're not one of those people, so I hope to see you next time.